Hello and welcome. Nestled in the heart of the Himalayas, Nepal is a land of breathtaking extremes. From the world's highest peaks, draped in eternal snow, to lush, subtropical forests teeming with life. It is a place where ancient spirituality permeates the very air you breathe. A nation that has for centuries captivated the imagination of explorers, pilgrims, and adventurers alike. But beyond the stunning landscapes lies a history just as dramatic and complex. The story of Nepal is a profound saga of survival and sovereignty. For millennia, it has navigated a delicate geopolitical dance, a sovereign Hindu kingdom, and later a secular republic, sandwiched between two of the world's most powerful civilizations, yet fiercely protective of its unique identity. This very geography has been both a fortress and a cradle. The formidable mountain ranges created pockets of isolation where distinct cultures flourished, while the fertile valleys, like the one surrounding Kathmandu, became vibrant centers of trade, art, and power, connecting the Tibetan Plateau with the Gangetic Plains of India. Today, we'll take you on a journey through the long and fascinating history of Nepal. We will journey back in time through layers of myth and legend to the earliest known rulers, the Kirats. We'll explore the golden age of the Licchavi dynasty, who laid the foundations for Nepal's unparalleled artistic and architectural heritage, a legacy etched in the stone and wood of its countless temples and stupas. We will witness the flourishing of the Malla kings, whose creative rivalry turned the city-states of the Kathmandu Valley into living museums. Then, we'll follow the ambitious conquests of Prithvi Narayan Shah, the Gorkha king who forged a scattered collection of principalities into the unified nation-state of Nepal that we recognize today. Our journey continues into the modern era, through a century of isolation under the hereditary Rana prime ministers, a period of opulent palaces and political stagnation. We'll trace the nation's turbulent path toward democracy, the decades-long struggle against absolute monarchy, and the wrenching decade of the Maoist civil war. A conflict that reshaped the country's political landscape and cost thousands of lives, ultimately leading to the end of a 240-year-old monarchy. Finally, we arrive in the present, exploring the birth of the Federal Democratic Republic of Nepal and the ongoing challenges and triumphs of building a new nation. This is the story of a country's relentless spirit of transformation. From ancient civilizations, monarchies, Rana rule, democracy struggles, the Maoist conflict, all the way to the present republic, Nepal's story is full of triumphs, struggles, and transformation. So let's begin our deep dive into the rich and fascinating history of Nepal. Our journey into Nepal's past begins in the mists of antiquity, a time when legends were forged and civilizations first took root in the shadow of the Himalayas. This foundational period shaped the nation's very soul. Around the 7th century BCE, the Kathmandu Valley was ruled by the formidable Kirat dynasty. These Tibeto-Burman people were renowned warriors and traders who established the region's first known kingdom. Their society was guided by ancient shamanistic beliefs, a spiritual foundation that would later blend seamlessly with the great religions to come. For nearly a millennium, the Kirats laid the groundwork for the nation, creating a stable society that set the stage for future greatness. It was during this era, in the 6th century BCE, that a world-altering event occurred on Nepal's southern plains. In the tranquil gardens of Lumbini, a prince of the Shakya clan named Siddhartha Gautama was born. This prince would forsake his life of luxury, embarking on a profound spiritual quest. His journey led him to enlightenment, transforming him into the Buddha, the awakened one. His teachings on compassion and mindfulness would blossom into a world religion, spreading from this humble birthplace across the globe, forever marking Nepal as a land of immense spiritual significance. Following the Kirats, a new power rose in the 3rd century CE, the Licchavi dynasty. Migrating from India, they ushered in Nepal's golden age, a period of unprecedented cultural and artistic flourishing. The era is brought to life through the reign of King Manadeva in the 5th century. His stone inscriptions, the oldest discovered in Nepal, provide the first concrete historical records of the kingdom's lineage and achievements. Under Licchavi patronage, art and architecture soared. They perfected the intricate wood and stone carving techniques that define Nepali craftsmanship, and the iconic multi-tiered pagoda style of temple architecture began to take its definitive shape. While the Licchavi kings were primarily devout Hindus, they were also great patrons of Buddhism, fostering remarkable religious harmony. During this time, the early foundations of the sacred Pashupatinath temple, dedicated to Lord Shiva, were laid. Simultaneously, legends place the origins of the great stupas of Swayambhunath and Buddhanath within this period. This was not merely coexistence but profound syncretism. Hindu and Buddhist philosophies intertwined, creating a unique spiritual tapestry where deities were shared and artistic motifs blended. This ancient period was the crucible in which Nepal's identity was forged, a land of deep spirituality, unparalleled artistry, and a harmonious blend of cultures. Following the Licchavi period, Nepal entered one of its most defining eras, the reign of the Malla dynasty, which spanned from the 12th to the 18th century. This period is celebrated as the golden age of Nepalese culture, a time when art and architecture reached unprecedented heights. The Malla kings were great patrons, fostering a unique style that blended Hindu and Buddhist iconography. Master artisans from the newer community transformed wood, metal, and stone into breathtaking works of art. Pagoda-style temples with multi-tiered roofs began to dominate the skyline, their struts adorned with exquisitely carved deities. A key feature of the later Malla period was the division of the Kathmandu Valley into three rival kingdoms: Kathmandu, Patan, and Bhaktapur. This rivalry was not just political, it was a fierce competition of culture and aesthetics. Each king sought to outdo the others by commissioning grander palaces and more elaborate temples. This competitive spirit fueled an architectural boom, turning the valley into an open-air museum. At the heart of each kingdom was its Durbar Square, a magnificent plaza surrounded by the royal palace and a dense concentration of temples. These squares were not merely royal courts, they were the civic, religious, and social centers of the city, where coronations were held and major festivals were celebrated. The architectural masterpieces we admire today are a direct result of this royal competition. This cultural flourishing was financed by a robust economy. The Malla kingdoms were strategically positioned on the vital trade route connecting the Tibetan Plateau with the Indian subcontinent. Merchants facilitated the flow of goods like salt and wool from the north and textiles and spices from the south. The resulting wealth filled royal treasuries, enabling the kings to fund their ambitious artistic and architectural projects. The Malla period left an indelible mark on Nepal's identity. The legal and social codes established during this time structured society for centuries. But their most visible legacy is architectural. The three Durbar squares, now UNESCO World Heritage Sites, are not relics of a bygone era but living parts of modern urban life. They stand as a testament to the Malla dynasty's vision, the skill of newer artisans, and a golden age that defines the cultural soul of Nepal. King Prithvi Narayan Shah, 1723-1775, conquered Kathmandu Valley in 1768. Famous vision: Nepal is a garden of 4 castes and 36 ethnic groups, foundation of modern Nepal. From a small kingdom in Gorkha, Prithvi Narayan Shah unified many principalities into one nation, modern Nepal. Anglo-Nepal War and Sugauli Treaty, 1814-1816, war with the British East India Company. Nepal lost large territories: Sikkim, Kumaon, Garhwal, parts of Terai. But Nepal remained independent. Although Nepal lost land, it retained its sovereignty, something rare in South Asia during colonial times. Jung Bahadur Rana seized power after the Khat massacre. Hereditary prime ministers ruled for 104 years. Kings became figureheads. Legal code reforms, army modernization, but strict oppression and no political freedom. For ordinary Nepalis, the Rana period was an age of darkness: limited education, no democracy, and absolute rule by one family. 1950-51 revolution ended Rana rule. King Tribhuvan supported democratic movements, multi-party democracy introduced. King Mahendra dissolved parliament in 1960, partyless panchayat system, some infrastructure development, but suppression of political freedom. Nationwide protests forced the king to restore multi-party democracy. Constitution of 1990 introduced a constitutional monarchy. Communist Party of Nepal Maoist launched a people's war. 10 years of civil conflict, over 17,000 deaths. Villages and cities engulfed in fear and instability. 2001, Royal Massacre, King Birendra and most of the royal family killed. King Gyanendra took direct control, 2005-2006. Massive people's protests in 2006 ended monarchy. In 2008, Nepal was declared a federal democratic republic. Constitution of Nepal 2015-2072 BS. Federal system with 7 provinces, first time Nepal formally became a secular republic. Political instability, frequent changes of government, public frustration with corruption and unemployment, recent youth-led protests fueled by social media. Interim government in place, with new elections scheduled. Today, Nepal still faces challenges, but its people continue the struggle for justice, equality, and progress. Nepal's story is one of resilience and hope from ancient times to today. The future is in our hands. Like, share, and subscribe for more stories. Thank you.